my beautiful buds. Welcome back to my channel, Express with Joy. My name is Joy, and if you like to talk about plants, you're in the right place. I feel like that was like the most awkward intro ever. Like, I don't know what I was doing with my hands. Maybe that wasn't awkward. I don't know. Anyways, I feel like this camera is not looking at me. Is that better? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, well, today I want to do some repotting, so that is what we're going to do. If you hear baby noises, that's because my child is over there. Spring is like right around the corner. I'm feeling it. It's getting sunnier, so my mood is improving, and I want to repot some plants. I don't know how many I'm gonna get through today, so we're just gonna do our best. I might need to like change the angle for you here. Okay, I'm definitely going with the most difficult one first. I don't know why, but it's a bit unwieldy, but it's okay. This is my philodendron brandtianum, and they're pretty notorious for being a little bit difficult when it comes to their growth, but I thought that maybe I could get around that if I added a pole for it to climb, and if I, had it in an area with lots of humidity. Like, I thought, okay, well, maybe it'll grow really well for me if I do that. It didn't grow well for me. So I want to start over with this plant and just try something different. I don't know if it'll be good or not, but this is what I have right here. As you can tell, I don't know how well you can see that, but there is a lot of just generally wonky growth going on. I did take some propagations, so I don't know. We'll see once I see what the roots are like. I don't really know. I think I just want to pot it into a terracotta pot and have it trailing down, and maybe I'll like put it on my wall or something like that, which I like to do with plants that are in terracotta, namely like philodendron and pothos, stuff like that. I just feel like they tolerate that well and they look really pretty trailing down. I don't know if he'll cooperate with that, but at this point I'm gonna try what I actually want to do with him rather than what I think he'll like, because he didn't end up liking what I thought he would like. So we're gonna try something different. Okay. I've got a whole new bag of De La tanks. And I will say, I really, really like De La tanks. I think it's fantastic soil. So if you're thinking about getting it, awesome, go for it. Go ahead and try it out. I recommend it. The only thing is that, so I have to like buy it straight from Tank's Green Stuff, and the shipping is pretty expensive, which is unfortunate. It's just how much shipping something that large and heavy costs. Like, I don't blame them. Like, that's just the reality of the situation. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I think I did. I also definitely underwatered this plant, so these roots are like, they've survived, but there was some dry rot, which has happened to me quite a bit with some of my plants recently. Anyways, I was talking about something else. I was talking about De La Tank's soil. And yes, again, I really like De La Tank's soil. The shipping is pretty expensive, so for a single bag, it ends up being like $30 because it's, $15 for the soil or something like that, but it's also $15 for the shipping. So, if they sold it locally here, I would 100% be buying that, but I'm just finding that it's starting to get a little bit much, and for a while I absolutely felt like it was worth it, but since I go through so much soil now, it's too many $30 purchases in like the span of a few months. I think I'm going to start making my own soil again, and the reason that I just switched to De La tanks was that, first of all, I wanted to try out. Second of all, it is super convenient, and I was willing to pay for that convenience, but I'm coming to the point now where it's like, okay, I need to budget more carefully and see if I can, make my own soil in bulk, and see if, by doing that, I can perhaps mitigate some of the costs. Let's be real. Keeping plants is a pretty expensive hobby. Like, you can do it in an affordable way, absolutely. But it's super, super easy to also get sucked into wanting to buy a lot of fancy things for your plants.
which obviously I think is super awesome. And you should totally do if you can afford it and like want to spend that money there. But you know, my husband and I are young. We're early on in our, I guess, careers. We're not like rolling in dough or anything like that. So we have to budget and be smart with our money. I'm probably gonna throw out some of these pieces that look dumb. We'll see. Especially having 2 kids as well. It's just, you know, we want to be wise. So all that to say, I'm never not going to own houseplants ever. And I think that there are ways to make the hobby more sustainable financially by like selling cuttings or just trying to be more cost effective with certain things. My child is being chatty. Okay. I don't know how well this is going to translate into a pot. To be completely honest, like this is so awkward and gangly. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, let's see. So I've kind of gathered the pieces that are still pretty passable. Really? But I'm going to see what I've got going on in these propagations as well. And see how much roots we have. Oh, I hear you, buddy. I hear you. Oh, really? I might need to take a break to tend to my fussy child. He just woke up from his nap. Maybe he just wants to snuggle. Okay, this plant definitely looks really silly. I mean, yes, the leaves come out dumb sometimes and like its growth pattern generally is like really frustrating. But it's mainly looking silly right now because it's been growing like up, it's been climbing. So now it's like trying to figure out, it's like, wait, which direction am I supposed to go? So yeah, converting plants that are climbing into like trailing plants, maybe not the best move, but honestly, I feel like I don't care all that much anymore, which is kind of sad, but I mean, it is what it is. Like, I just don't really care. Like, I want it to be nice for me and grow nicely, but like, I don't really expect it to. So I'm just like, let's just see what happens. Okay. Okay. I think I'm gonna real quick repot my Alocasia cuprea because I just want to get it out of the soil. I don't think that it needs to be in a pot that's this large, honestly. I'm getting worried about it because like I feel like it might be rotting. I don't want it to be. But like this soil that I bought it in, it's just been too long, I think. But we'll see what I find when I get in there. I mean, it hasn't shown any signs of rot necessarily. I just know that this soil has retained a lot of moisture. I mean, it definitely does not have a lot of roots, so I think I might. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, there's definitely some like not good roots in here. Okay, there's definitely some roots in here that rotted for sure. I'm seeing that. because this used to have more leaves than what it has. And, you know, it's not surprising that some of it rotted because it was shipped to me. And, you know, the soil is pretty damp. It looks like it kind of like re-rooted. So I'm definitely gonna get, I might honestly like repot it back into this pot, but with like better soil. So I feel like I was talking about all these things, but then I got into repotting and I'm like super hyper focused on what's happening. And did I say this yet? I'm sorry if you hear any clicking because my child's in the swing now. He was kind of getting fussy and that's the only thing that would calm him down. He just wanted to be moving. So I'm giving him a little bit of swing time for a few minutes here. I'm hoping that he'll be happier in this soil. Oh, another thing about the whole soil amendment thing and like me making my own soil is that my garden center recently like got a bunch of really nice soil amendments in bulk for people to buy, which is really nice. Like I don't think that they used to have that at all, but now they do. So I'm excited to try it out. I got some bins recently that I can use. Okay, and before I kind of had it bound to this stake because otherwise allocations tend to splay out quite a bit. All right, that one was nice and easy. Hopefully he's a fan. Okay, and I feel like everyone and their mother has seen this little turtle pot from Target. It's so cute, I couldn't resist getting it. It's nice because it's still kind of terracotta, so it matches the rest of my collection, but it's like more unique. But I can't decide what I want to put in there. I know a lot of people have been putting like a string of turtles in there, of course. I mean, that makes sense. But I'm trying to think, do I want to put in my white princess or do I want to put in my Homelamina humulus? I don't know, let's see. Like, would that look cute in there? I can't tell. Or would this look cuter? I don't know. How about this? I'm going to like up pot it and see what the root system is like on each of them, and maybe that'll make my decision for me. Because like I do want to like get this white princess on a pole eventually, but I don't feel like doing that yet, so I don't know. Okay, I think I might do the white princess in there because the root system isn't, you know, incredible. This is another one that like I bought recently, so I mostly just want to like get it into my own soil. Oh my gosh, that's pretty cute. Okay, let's get some of this soil out of the way. Ugh, repotting things is so messy. I hope I don't make a complete disaster. Okay, first of all, wow, that's so pretty. Okay, second of all, let's get her in this turtle pot. If anything, you know, I might just stake her as she gets a little bit taller. And then, I don't know. I can never decide like at which point I want to go ahead and commit to a moss pole, but I don't have any on hand. I do want to try, and I have been doing some planks as well recently, but I do want to try some of those like lacy moss poles or like just different kinds of moss poles that might retain their moisture better than the homemade ones that I had done. But I haven't totally decided or like gotten the supplies for that yet. And again, going back to the whole like financial conversation, which I don't know if that stresses some of you guys out or if it makes you kind of roll your eyes or what, but I am just trying to be responsible. Okay, this is looking so cute. I just hope it still fits on my shelf because it's a bit more of an awkward shape, but I'll do like one more scoop. And there's that. Oh my gosh. That's so cute. What do I want to do next? I guess I have the Homelomina right next to me, so I'll do that. Okay. Ugh. Wow, I'm actually like getting through a lot of plants. Kind of surprising. Okay. I don't know if this is like the most ideal pot for this plant, but we're gonna go with it because it's what I have. Okay. Hi.
Are you filming?
I am.
I got you some veggie straws.
Oh my gosh. You're wonderful. Oh no. This does not look good, guys.
Don't say I never got anything for you.
Oh, thank you. Skittles too? Thank you. Alright, so I was kind of concerned about this plant, like when I first got it. So I was like, I don't know for sure, like, how rooted this is, because this guy always kind of looked funky. But like, it's just kind of hanging off, and it has like 2 roots on that part. Dude. I mean, the rest of the root system is like kind of okay. I wish I had a smaller pot to put this in, but I think I'm just going to pot it up like super shallow and hope for the best. I mean, the roots aren't like rotted or anything. It's just, it's kind of like immature a little bit. Maybe. I mean, I'm sure it'll survive and be fine. But I just feel like it's so funny. It's like a little twin that's just like, hey there. I'm repotting plants, babe. Do you want to feed me the Skittles?
First of all, you have a plant that's stuck to your hair.
Oh, thank you. Because I'm hungry, actually.
Do you want veggie straws too?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that'll be awkward for me to be filming this. Okay. Okay, if I pot these this shallow, it's going to be iffy. Now I'm chewing on. Okay, give me time to finish my Skittles.
Okay.
But I appreciate it. I guess people do like mukbangs. Like that's like a whole thing, is eating on camera.
Wait, what?
You haven't heard of a mukbang or mukbang or whatever that is?
A mukbang?
There's no way you haven't heard of that.
I promise you, I've never heard of a mukbang.
Am I crazy? Do I just spend way too much time on YouTube? It's a thing where people like eat an obscene amount of food on camera.
They just like purposely overeat on camera?
I mean, that's, yeah.
I sure hope that that's not English. Like mukbang from the English mukbang. Like, what does that mean?
I don't think it's English. All right, well, hopefully that survives. It's the same amount of soil that it was before. So, you know, I'm hoping that it'll survive. Even though it's probably way too much for the root system. But with it being in terracotta, I'm a little bit less worried about that. I think there are 2 more plants I want to repot. I'm going to need to replace my battery any minute though. All right, next up. This is my Hoya elliptica, and for a minute I was worried that it was dying because it was like losing a lot of leaves on the bottom. But now it has a lot of new leaves that are coming in. And I feel pretty comfortable with that. And I just want to get it into terracotta so that I can hang it up in my south-facing window over here. So I'm maybe getting ahead of myself. Maybe I should wait a little bit longer, but I'm just excited. Oh, wow, look at you. Oh my gosh, this soil is so wet. It's been in the prop box and the soil like retains a lot of moisture. So wow, that is sopping. I don't like that. All things considered, I mean, I'm not too worried about him because he's growing actively right now. So I have started reading again, which is super fun. I read like maybe 10 books last year, which is okay. But like, I used to be like such a voracious reader, but coming out of college, I was a bit burned out because I was an English major. So I read so many books for my classes. I needed a break, but then I had my daughter in 2020. Let me tell you, it's not easy to read when you have a child, especially like your first child, because you're just kind of getting used to everything and you're super overwhelmed. But then I realized, okay, audiobooks are a really great tool. So I've been reading a lot of books using Libby, like the Libby app, and I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks that way. And it's been like a great way to actually start reading again, even though I have kids, because I can read while I'm doing the dishes or breastfeeding or any of that. It took me a while to like get used to audiobooks because I used to like not like them. I would prefer to physically read a book, but now that I've started getting used to them, I've been reading again, and it's my goal to read 23 books, an arbitrary number, 23 books in the year 2023. So I'm really excited about that, but I'm off to a very slow start because my first book of 2023 has been Dune, and I haven't actually seen the movie yet, so I'm excited to watch the movie after I read the book and just see what the differences are and stuff. I really like it, but there's a lot of politics in it, and it's a little bit, I mean, it hasn't like completely grabbed my attention like the same way that like my favorite book that I've read most recently was The Stand by Stephen King. It like shook me to my core, haunted me, but also was like so incredible, and I absolutely loved that book. So actually for a while it was hard for me to read another book after that one because like nothing measured up to The Stand, and even now like nothing is measuring up to The Stand. I feel like when I start a book it's like it's still not The Stand. I just want more of The Stand. I was like so engrossed in it. I like all sorts of different kinds of books. I'm willing to read a lot of different things, but anyways, I feel like that was such a long aside. But here's the Hoya elliptica. Oh, pretty, pretty, pretty. I'm so excited to hang it up. I actually need to make more macrame so that I can hang it up. Okay, so this next one right here, I'm pretty sure the video in which I got this plant will be up before this video, so maybe I can link it. But this is a Syngonium window leaf. At least that's what it's labeled as, but I'm like perplexed, you guys. I have no idea what this plant is. Because you cannot look at that and tell me that's a Syngonium. I mean, I want to have some humility, but at the same time, like, it just does not look like a typical Syngonium. Like, the closest Syngonium it could look like is like maybe a Syngonium chiapense, but like it just doesn't. The leaf shape isn't there for me, because a Syngonium chiapense even then like still kind of has more of a true heart shape. So I'm so confused by what this is. The finish to the leaf is like super satiny. Honestly, it's giving Monstera in my opinion, just based on like its growth pattern, like the leaf shape. But I mean, obviously it doesn't have any fenestrations, at least not yet. So I'm really confused by what this is. Maybe it is a Syngonium, maybe it's like a whole new thing, or like a new cultivar. Honestly, I couldn't tell you. But ooh, look at those juicy roots. That's beautiful. And if there are comments on my other video, just know that I haven't posted that yet as of filming this video. It's still a mystery. I Googled Syngonium window leaf, and there were some other people that like purchased from the same garden center where this came from that were like also asking like, hey, what the heck is this plant? And nobody really knows. Everyone's thinking, okay, it definitely looks more like a Monstera than a Syngonium. It's really unique and beautiful, honestly. Like from afar, it might look more like your standard green plant, whatever, and not really catch that much attention. But when you're looking at the details of it, I mean, the leaf shape is really elegant. The sheen to it is really beautiful as well. So I'm excited to grow out this plant. I'm guessing that it's a climber. I mean, it's got the aerial roots. I don't think I'm gonna stake it up, but maybe I'll just add like a bamboo stake and grow it kind of like that. I don't know. I haven't totally decided, but for now, I'm just gonna pot it into this adorable pot that I got from Target. It's another one I got from Target. Let's see. It might actually technically be too small. Like these roots are like really coming up against the side of the pot, but I don't even know if this is gonna be the permanent home for this plant if I do decide to like put it on a piece of wood or something like that. I don't know. But this is just for now to like switch out the soil. And honestly, I think it's just so fun to like put plants into cute pots, you know? It's like one of my favorite parts about owning plants is just having really adorable pots to put them in, because I love interior design stuff. I mean, my house is not decorated up to snuff. Like my house is not decorated the way that I want it to be, like entirely. Part of that is just because I have kids. So like I don't mind that they take up space because I love my kids and I want them here. But like, you know, it's obviously not going to make the most aesthetic home when you have toys strewn everywhere. So, you know, things are not always exactly the way that I, you know, would maybe want them to be if I lived by myself. But I also wouldn't want to live by myself. So it's a trade-off I'm willing to have. But all that aside, at least having some nice pots to put my plants in is a nice little compromise. All right, I'm going to water these plants and clean up. Well, I think that's going to be pretty much it for this video. So I hope that you guys have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye-bye.